And we are live. Hey, folks, Mobile Geezer here with Will. Say hi, Will.
What's going on, everybody?
And Mike, Simply Your Device.
Hey there, I'm Mike Dixon. This is Simply Your Device on George's channel.
That's right. And of course, I'm Mobile Geezer, the elder statesman of the group. That's the nicest way I can say that about myself.
Anyway. Let me start off real quick. Super chat is wide open, folks. Super chat is wide open.
Thank you, Mike. And of course, you see me and my buddy. Last week he was there behind me, but this week he's actually got movement going on. Last week I forgot to plug him in, you know. For those of you that don't know, I have lots and lots and lots of Snoopy stuff. Hats, watches, underwear, socks, shirts, all kinds of stuff. All right, so I guess the first thing I should say is happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and because this is the last time we'll all see each other until after Christmas.
Oh, we're not getting together next week?
I said until, well, you will get together next week, but next Friday will be after Christmas is
done.
Oh, well, yeah, but I mean, next Friday, I was thinking.
Try to keep up, Mike.
I am. I'm trying to.
I'm the old guy here.
I can't like chew gum and talk at the same time. All right, I'm over here being social and sending out links.
I'm trying to keep up with the chat on my OnePlus 6T, but the screen's going. I think I'm going to have to switch to my iPhone. All right, I'll try to keep it up. Okay, we got. Okay, Serrano is in here. Oh, and by the way, folks, I just wanted to mention Serrano's one of the guys who has asked me to take part in a collab for favorite phone of the year. So I don't know exactly when Serrano's going to put that up, and I don't know everybody who's in the collaboration, but I sent him my little video for favorite phone of the year. So you will see that on Serrano Butler's channel, and I'm very flattered that he asked me to take part in it. Also, Tech Time has also asked me to take part in the collab. I don't think everybody's gotten theirs in yet, but that one is for your favorite tech of the year that was not a phone. So he's got my video for that, and I'm very flattered for that. So,
did you see the comment from 6?
I just seen it. It's normal. That's normal now. Come on, Apple innovated that.
Why am I not? Oh, it didn't update. Okay.
Apple innovated that.
Don't bend. Yeah, well,
that's innovation.
They certainly did. All right, so what I wanted to start with tonight, just for and my wife came up with this idea. Since it is Christmas holiday time, a lot of people are going to be doing family stuff. So of course, everybody's going to be taking pictures. So if you folks will be so kind, put in the comments, what smartphone are you going to be using to take your family Christmas holiday pictures? I just thought it'd be interesting to know what phone people think are good enough to save their holiday pictures with. So put it in the comments and we'll mention it as we go through. Either of you have anything to say on that topic?
I'll be using my iPhone that I just got repaired. iPhone 10.
That's our next topic, by the way.
Yeah. Okay. What about you, Mike?
I walk around with 2 phones. I'm going to be with the OnePlus 6 and the iPhone 8 Plus.
Okay, and I walk around with the OnePlus 6T and the iPhone 10R. So those will be what I'm taking pictures with. But, well, I won't go there because that'll reveal my phone of the year. So we're not going to go there yet. Okay. All right. So
keep that tucked in, George.
Okay, 6 Luis says iPhone 10 and maybe his Note 8. Good choices, 6.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So let's go on to Will's little adventure for the week. Well, yesterday, right? Tell us about your problem, when it started, and how you resolved it.
I don't even know how many days ago it was. It was a while, maybe the beginning of the week. How long was it, Mike? I don't know if you noticed.
No, this is
probably about a week, maybe. I noticed I wasn't able to type P on my keyboard, and when I'm signing in, sometimes I got to use that because that's my email.
You didn't mention what phone you're talking about.
Oh, the iPhone 10. Okay. Couldn't type the P on the keyboard, so that's on the right side of the screen if you're looking at the phone. So I was like, all right, maybe it's like a software thing. Start Googling it. I seen some people saying their screen was laggy, but I started noticing like phantom touches. My screen started acting real crazy. So turned it off, turned it back on, tried all kind of stuff.
This is
reset.
like 4 days worth, you're saying?
Yeah, this was for a while. I was like, I would have to turn the phone in landscape to text, or you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So then I messed up. That's what made me go. What happened was I messed up and went to screen layout or something. No, icon layout or something. Reset. I was resetting everything. And it ended up putting like all the icons that I use, it put them on the right side. So on that right column, the fourth row to the right, everything down. I couldn't use nothing. I couldn't swipe down to get to the
And you couldn't change it back?
I could have, but I didn't even think about it. Okay. I would have had to go up into the search thing and type settings, and then I would have been able to go into I didn't even think about it. Once I did that yesterday, I was like, I got to go to the Apple store. So I think it was Thursday, I called Apple, and the closest appointment that they had, Mike, you know, King of Prussia. It was either go to King of Prussia.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, probably you didn't go to King of Prussia.
Nah. Or wait till Sunday.
Because we wouldn't have Will, folks, here today. He'll be coming back to King of Prussia, right? That's all I got to say.
How far is King of Prussia?
No, you don't understand. It's 40 minutes.
It's not that far, but it's the traffic, and now it's the holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, nah, no, thank you. And the lady was saying it like it was close. She was like, King of Prussia, you know, I was like, nah, no, thank you. So she was like, well, Sagemore.
Meanwhile, she's in Kentucky and she has no idea what King of Prussia is.
She's just looking at the map and my zip code. So she was like, well, Sagemore has one for Sunday. I would have had to go Sunday at like 2:00. Okay. So I'm like, all right. I told her, give me that appointment. But when I came off of work last night, I was about to throw the phone against the wall. So, I was like,
Will, you got another phone?
Yeah, I know. But I told you the problem is my mom is on here and it's easier. Apple doesn't, like, if I switch SIM cards, they don't want to let me go, man. Like, I'll be texting.
George, they got him real good, right?
Exactly.
She would have to delete the conversation and restart it. Otherwise, it keeps sending it as iMessage. So what I had to do was I looked on the thing, and guess since it's the holiday, Apple opened at 9. So I got off of work today, took my kids to school, and went straight to the Apple store. When I got there at 9:04, the store was full of people, but there was only me and one other person for repair. So I dropped the phone off, went back in 45 minutes, and they fixed it. But yeah, that was like it was like a $300 job, but they did it for free. They just replaced the screen.
Good. So, very good.
Now I'm good, but I wasn't going to pay for it. If they told me I had to pay, I wouldn't have paid, but.
Exactly. A happy ending.
Let me the picture. George, did you see the picture? I think I sent the picture.
Yes, I saw it.
The Apple store. Yeah.
Wait, back up. You said you had to pay, or you didn't? You didn't?
No, I wouldn't have paid. No, I wouldn't have paid.
You got Apple Care, right?
Yeah, but I wouldn't have paid for that anyway, because I didn't do nothing. My screen was like brand new. The phone, you know what I mean? It was perfect. So,
a couple of things in the comments. Alan, Phone Tech at Work, says, Mike, you need AirPods. You're the AirPodless of the crew. That's true. It's true. Come on, Kool-Aid, Mike. Apple juice. Tech for Your Needs, answering our question about what the phone they're using for pictures. Tech for Your Needs says, I don't know if this is fair. iPhone 8 Plus, because I'm using my Panasonic Lumix G7 to take pictures and videos. It has been requested. Well, if it's requested, then you got to use that then. Exactly. All right. For anybody who's joined in since we started, the question of the evening is, what smartphone are you using for your family Christmas and holiday pictures? Just leave it in the comments, or we'll take a look at them every once in a while, see what everybody's using to take pictures, because it's Christmas. Pictures are kind of important. So
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next story was Apple will stop selling some iPhone phone models in stores in Germany. Mike, you put that in, so you go ahead and talk about that.
Yeah, I was like, I had that moment. I'm like scrolling at work, taking like that 30-second scroll, and I'm like going, whoa, what's this? Looks like over the Qualcomm patent case, which is interesting. I don't know much about law, but to have I guess a country uphold basically let's see here, was granted a second injunction against Apple on Thursday, banning the selling of some iPhone models in Germany.
Right, and it's a second injunction because China had the first one, right?
Yeah, I just was shocked to see this. You know, they're actually not. So, however, I'm just jumping around here. However, Apple said throughout the appeal process, the iPhone 7 and iPhone 8 models will not be sold in its 15 retail stores in Germany.
Right.
Its newest models, the XS, of course, the XS Max and the XR, will still be sold in those stores. Apple said in the statement, all iPhone models will still be sold through carriers and other third-party retailers in Germany.
And that's what struck me as strange. So they won't sell those two models in their own stores in Germany, which is 15 stores, but the resellers are 4,300 locations, so they can sell them. I don't see where the injunction does much good. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't. What's the injunction? What is the case exactly? I'm sorry, I'm not. I just knew that.
I think it's something to do with some kind of technology that the phone uses.
Yeah,
that was supposed to be patented or something.
It's a patent infringement.
Do it like tracking.
Right.
It says, like, if you read further down in the article, it says something about the judge ruled that the phones contain a combination of chips from Intel and Apple supplier Qorvo violated one of Qualcomm's patents around the so-called envelope tracking, a feature that helps the mobile phone save battery power while sending and receiving wireless signals.
Exactly.
But now, Apple makes their own chip supposedly, right?
Right.
No, but they make the other chip. Isn't this for like the internet? You know what I mean? For Wi-Fi and all that.
Oh, you mean the modem?
This is That's why I think. Right. That's why.
And Qorvo is the one that makes that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Intel was making the modems now in the newer phones.
Right.
Yeah, right. because of the problems they're having now. Apple and Qualcomm aren't getting along, so that's why they're saying. I think the newer iPhones are actually. I think they said they get like slower speeds than the older one, the iPhone 10, because of the thing with the chip.
Now, what I found most interesting in the article was the comments from each of them. Apple said in a statement, Qualcomm's campaign is a desperate attempt to distract from the real issues between our companies. Their tactics in the courts and everyday business are harming innovation and harming customers. And then Qorvo's property counsel said, we believe our envelope tracking chip does not infringe in patent and suit. And the court would have come to the court would have come to a different conclusion if it had considered all the evidence. We're disappointed that the inventor and designer of the chip, who attended the hearing, was not given the opportunity to testify. That seems awfully weird to me.
That's a little shady.
So Qualcomm suing you over this chip. The guy who invented the chip is there, and the judge didn't even let him testify. Something's wrong there. You know.
Well, we're talking about Europe here, so isn't things a little weird in Europe as it is now? You know what I mean? When it comes to the
it has to do with the EC, it is, but
yeah.
I don't think it has anything to do with the European Commission, though.
And I just want to comment, George, on what you were saying. I get what you're saying, why 15 stores can't sell it.
Right.
Probably, and I'm just going on a stretch here, that the carriers and the third parties already made a commitment or even have inventory already in their stores.
Oh yeah, you got
they're like a purchased item. It's like me, I'm selling iPhones. I already purchased these.
Yeah, they own it now, so they can sell it if they want to sell it.
Exactly. That's why they're managing to get around that. So
and I guess for Qualcomm, just getting Apple to not be able to sell those two phones in their own stores is kind of a
it's the bragging rights,
a bragging rights kind of thing. Yeah. So it's a very weird story. Now, I did see Okay, the case is part of a broader court conflict between the two, in which Apple has alleged that Qualcomm engaged in anti-competitive business practices to protect a monopoly on its modem chips, which I disagree with that, which help mobile phones connect to wireless data networks. U.S. Federal Trade Commission has also sued Qualcomm over its business practices in a case set to go to trial in California next month. So it sounds like it's not just Apple that's having it. The U.S. government is having a problem with Qualcomm too. Now, of course, that sounds an awful like some of the stuff the EC does with Google and Apple and Microsoft. So that might be politicians grabbing for money. I don't know.
Yes, that's what I'll be at. I just saw about the China. You mentioned about China in here, but it seems like anything dealing with the EU, as you said, and what's normal to us, what it isn't normal to them. You know what I mean? I know there's an issue going on with YouTube over there about what is it called? The trademark issue,
right?
Or copy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Article 13 or something.
Yeah, right.
For me, the EC the European Commission is a separate thing, because any American company that is really successful and making a lot of money, they're going after. They've done it to Microsoft, they've done it to Apple, they've done it to Google, way more than anybody, over $5 billion, and they're out to get into the pockets of any successful American company that's doing business in Europe, and they're real good at it because they pass the rules.
Yeah, George, you got a fan. George, you got to check out the comments. You got a fan in there. You got a fan. And I want to say a shout out to By Project 13. Thank you for stopping by.
Oh, what the heck is that, George? Okay, Tony. And yes, I have AirPods in my ear. It's a very eerie feeling, trust me. Oh, and I forgot to show. Well, Snoopy's up there, and for the last time, I got the shirt on again. Okay.
Yeah, we converted George.
Yeah, Tony. It's been an interesting ride. Check back and go back some of the issues. You'll see what's going on.
I did not have to be converted to Snoopy. I've been friends with Snoopy for years.
No, we're talking about Apple.
We got George on the dark side.
Well, I am a brother after all. All right. So next, the problem. Okay, now we all watched a video. Who was that video by? I forgot.
Dave 2D.
Yeah. And he made a video on the problem with a 5G phone. And of course, I've written articles in the past on 5G, but now we're all starting to learn more and more and more about 5G as they start implementing it. And he pointed out, now, to me, the biggest thing he pointed, and that was a very good video. If you go over to Dave, what?
Dave 2D.
Dave 2D.
Yeah, put the link to his video at the bottom of it, I guess, at the end of the show.
If I can figure it out.
I'll send it to you or something.
All right, check out his video on the problem with 5G phone. And he did a really good, knowledgeable, sensible video about what it's going to be like with 5G on phones. And I think everybody, before you buy a 5G phone, should probably listen to that video. And we have another topic coming up behind this one about it. But to me, one of the biggest things that he mentioned, and I've seen it in other articles since, is that 5G is going to have some serious penetration problems. So if you live in a city in an apartment, I'm thinking you're probably wasting your money getting a 5G phone, at least in 2019. Go ahead, Mike.
Now, George, this story about what Dave did, you're following the story about the 5G unit from AT&T.
Right. Yeah. Let's combine it with the next one.
I want to just say this to let's see. I'm going to look at who's in the room. All right, all you YouTubers out there. Okay, let's get the word out to the public, to the general customers out there. Don't buy a phone because it says it has 5G in it. It don't work. Okay.
At least not in 2019, I think.
All right. Now, Will just said a thing. I know you don't have it in there about AT&T already having the little thing is saying 5G, and it doesn't have 5G. Okay, they're BSing
Mike, listen, Mike, it's an advertisement. Did you see what it said?
Deception.
No, listen.
Let him rant. Let him rant.
This is bullshit in plain English. I'm sorry. All right. Net neutrality has been just crushed. Okay, this is crazy. Sorry.
Oh, man. Now, Mike, it's an advertisement.
Advertisement.
Okay,
my took it.
Okay.
Listen. The article AT&T, they said that the same way they did with 4G, they're gonna start putting the 5G or whatever 5G with the E. Listen. They're just advertising.
It's advertising.
Yeah. It's wrong. I don't agree.
But today, AT&T went live with this hotspot, this Netgear 5G hotspot. And
would you buy it,
it's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. Look at the cities they're going to put out. Look at those cities. Now, I happen to catch this, and it made perfect sense. The 12 cities are going to have 5G. Atlanta, Charlotte. The only one I could Atlanta maybe because you got a mountain nearby. But I'll get to the point. Dallas, Houston, Indianapolis, Jacksonville, Louisville, Oklahoma City, New Orleans, Raleigh, North Carolina, San Antonio, and Waco. Now, what do those 12 towns have in common? I just want to see if you guys happen to know, if you know your little geography there. What's the common? What's that?
Flat.
What do they got in common?
There we go. They're a flat territory. They have a way to get the signal to relatively to work, sort of.
And just so you know, because I drive through
beyond half baked. This is
just so you know, because I drive through Atlanta all the time. Atlanta's pretty flat too. It's as you come out of Atlanta, coming north.
I didn't know you ever been. Where's Stone Mountain at? The relevance. I know it's near Atlanta, isn't it?
Stone Mountain is northwest Atlanta.
Okay, is it close by?
Yeah, not close to downtown. No.
No. Okay, but is it flat?
Stone Mountain's not flat. Most of Atlanta is pretty flat. Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. Atlanta, right? The city of Atlanta. But what I'm saying is, again, I just said. This is not even half baked. This is somebody trying to rush to go and say, we're the first one with 5G. All right? And it's just not advertising. They're going to smoke people. Listen, I keep on saying, for us YouTubers and the people who are in this, we got to educate the public because they're all going to come out. I'm telling you, by Super Bowl, we're going to watch an ad. They're going to be, we got the 5G phone.
That makes sense. And the thing is, they're saying, Dave said, and some of the articles say that the 5G signal is it's going to be tons faster, blazingly faster, but the penetration is going to be so bad that you'll be able to pass your hand in front of the phone and lose the signal.
You can't.
Somebody may walk by you and you'll lose the signal.
By the way, this kind of goes back to a little bit also, let's talk about Qualcomm and that big conference they had. I wish I was a big time YouTuber to go Hawaii. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They had that thing out there talking about they had it all rigged in the show where they were saying,
the 855 chip.
Yeah, look at these speeds we're having. Okay. Meanwhile, they got the whole area plastered with 5G towers.
And even the big YouTubers and bloggers that were there said they did a crappy job because what they set up just wasn't working very well.
Right. Why am I wrong, Lewis? Or are you just joking with me? Or you're just messing with me? I'm just bent over.
No, he said you're holding it wrong.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't mean you're absolutely right. I meant it because it's just that whole thing. You should see me. I'm going down the road. I don't know if I said this last time. I'm driving home listening to the thing, and I was screaming at my dash because I'm like going, "There's no way!" Oh man.
Six Luis says, "Let me give you a complimentary case." LOL.
Yeah.
Listen, I lived through that. I lived through that when Apple did that. That wasn't funny.
Yeah.
That was when they started lying about 4G.
Exactly.
Right. They said
and they're all going to be lying about 5G.
AT&T did the same thing. That's why I know what you're saying, and you're right. But what they're going to say is, and like kind of what the article says is, they're not really saying you have a 5G signal. They're just saying that's why it's going to have that E, because they're just advertising their 5G evolution or whatever. The same way when they put out their HSPA plus, and then they made it, I think they made it 4G, right? They started putting out the 4G logo on the iPhones and all the phones. They even got Apple to do it.
Right.
So everybody's going to do it.
And wait, real quick. By the way, they already said in one of those podcasts, or they were talking about the first generation phone that's going to have it. Well, I guess from the carrier phone, it's going to have this 5G sort of technology, and then when it evolves to the better one, your first gen phone is never going to really work on the second gen 5G in the first place. So you got this. It's
pretty crappy.
It is pretty crappy.
Aren't they all saying the first one's going to be the Samsung on Verizon?
Samsung. Yeah. Well, no, I thought I heard there was another phone that was supposed to have it first.
Well, hey, go get your mod and put it on your Z.
That's right, the mod. That's right. I forgot about the mod for Moto. Yeah.
Yeah.
But just like I forget what I was watching, but the guy basically was like, just today, he said, don't buy the 5G phone unless you're going to keep it for like 3 years. Because
don't even buy. Don't even
the extra price. No, listen, because the extra price of it isn't going to be worth it.
No.
Unless you're going to keep it, because your phone's going to keep reverting back to 4G anyway.
You're always going to be kicked back to 4G. I want to mention one thing because Will, you've mentioned 5G a couple of times in the article. As for the network, AT&T is annoyingly muddying the waters with its 5G branding. It's going to start calling its existing 4G LTE network 5GE. How's that for lying? Where the E stands for evolution, okay? Yeah. Its real 5G network, the MM Wave one, will be called 5G Plus. Right. So yeah, they're just trying to confuse people.
They're using existing towers in those towns, those 12 towns as it is. It's just getting rehashed with 5G. And as they said, Dave's, I heard about it before through how they're going to sort of roll out 5G. I mean, you're going to look at your lampposts out in the street, and it's going to be there's going to be a signal tower there.
And they're saying they're going to be little antennas, but there's going to be hundreds of them all over the place.
All over the place, yes. So, and they did talk though about the penetration issue, that they're working on that. Now, presently, that's the thing that's really, yes, it can't get through buildings if it has rain or fog.
Mike, they say it can't get through nothing.
Yeah, right, it can't get bodies, anything.
But there are working. They do have the spectrum. They're working on the spectrum to be able to penetrate the buildings, to get around. Right. Actually, they're working on a way to have it going around the building somehow, not through the building. So
how's that going to help you if you're inside the building?
Well, then they're going to be repeaters maybe or something. But exactly just it. Another half-baked idea that I don't know why we're rolling this stuff out so
they can brag about it.
But you know what? Did you see the price that they listed in the article with the whole, basically the 5G? They're saying that 5G is cheaper than 4G by like 20 cents. They said the plan. Listen, the plan for that hotspot is cheaper than what you would pay for a regular 4G, because it's like $70 a month for 15 gigs.
The hotspot, and that equals out to be hotspot comes in at $500.
Yeah, you gotta buy it. Yeah, you gotta buy it. But I'm saying the price per for the data, what they're going to be charging you is a little bit cheaper than the price for 4G.
Yeah, I see the other towns. I see the other towns for 2019. AT&T posted here. Parts. Okay, Los Angeles is in there. I wouldn't even try Los Angeles. San Francisco, no way, because they're between the hills and all. Exactly. Diego stands a chance because I think it's relatively flat. San Jose, I've never been to, or Orlando. Orlando's relatively flat. Nashville.
I used to live on the highest hill in Orlando, and I could walk up that in 2 minutes.
Right.
So
how
it's flat.
how about Nashville? What's Nashville like?
Nashville's totally flat. That's why they get tornadoes all the time.
Okay. Then and Las Vegas. Well, they should have no trouble really getting around Las Vegas.
Well, there's mountains all around Las Vegas. There's mountains surrounding Las Vegas.
But I'm talking about in the heart of Las Vegas.
If they put it in town, yeah, in town it's flat.
All right, so Mike, you're saying all this, and you're gonna have the first 5G phone. That's what you're saying.
Mike,
somebody
your answer is, if we go by tradition, there is one of us here who always says he's not going to buy a phone and hasn't day one, right, Mike?
Nah,
yeah.
not this time.
Okay.
I'm taking Apple's approach. I'm sitting back and watching. I'm being Apple.
Okay.
I'm gonna watch everything happen.
So far from everything I've seen and read about 5G, I think 5G is a wonderful future technology. I still think it's going to be best in cars, but I don't think anybody in 2019 should spend the money on a 5G phone. I think I'd wait till at least 2020 and see how they're doing. That's my guess.
Oh yeah, it's a wait and see thing.
The reason why I probably won't jump on it is because how it's going to be so restricted. Like if you have a 5G Samsung on AT&T, it might not work on Verizon, or it might not work on T-Mobile with 5.
Exactly.
So that kind of, and it's going to kill. As far as like, imagine how much an unlocked, if they're going to be able to even make one, an unlocked 5G phone is going to work everywhere. Because I can already see AT&T is not going to let you get 5G with your unlocked phone on there.
I was going to say, if there are any unlocked 5G phones, my guess is there may not be.
But the carriers will probably stop it. But even if they did, AT&T wouldn't certify it or whatever they got to do to let you use their 5G network. And so
now supposedly Verizon is supposed to, get theirs going. They still said by the end of this year. So they had like 12 cities also. And T-Mobile, I gather, is supposed to be hot on their heels. So they're all going to have these 5G networks that don't do crap, is my opinion. And their phones probably aren't going to be worth a thing.
Oh, Mike, we gotta talk about T-Mobile when we get done. I got a couple questions for you.
Okay. So there's a gentleman or a person here, official Keith IT.
Yeah, Keith is one of the guys that I've been to Vegas with CTE.
Oh, okay.
He's saying in Vegas, they should include building indoor and outdoor antennas around the Radio Stadium for 5G. At least you would have concentrated area for 5G service. Yeah, at least the Raiders could do something good. I'm a Raider fan, so don't mind me.
And Mom's in the room. Hi, Mom.
Hey, Carol. So, yeah, Keith is right. I mean, that would be the place to put the antennas because, city of Vegas is so flat, it would just travel everywhere. But you've got gigantic hotels that are probably going to stop that. So I don't know.
It's going to be a mess. It's going to be a big mess. So, and I, you know what? I'm a big fan of T-Mobile, but T-Mobile's no saint here either. Too.
Oh, I know. They're all going to do the same thing.
They're not going to. I just shared a tweet to you guys from John Legier, talking about the fake 5G emblem. But they talked about nobody knows where they really stand, and in this acquisition, they really need Sprint because they own a 2.5 gigahertz. Don't hold it to me. They hold a certain band.
That's why they wanted Sprint.
Right. The band, they hold a certain band that will help them, but it isn't a complete. They're still going to wind up needing some other bands later on to try and get 5G to work properly.
Yeah, but they're saying I've read that if this merger goes through, that T-Mobile will jump above AT&T for coverage, just like that.
Okay.
Well, they said the merger is going to go through though. It's looking like it anyway.
Yeah, it's looking like it. Yeah. Once they agree to hate Huawei like everybody else. Yeah.
I was just listening to the thing, and they were saying
You mean the thing? What's the thing?
What they say? I can't. It was one of them shows. I can't remember what they said now. Okay. You lost my train of thought. But they were. They were saying what?
You blame it on the old guy. It's good.
No, I got it. They were saying what's going to happen. Like, is T-Mobile going to sell? You know, how are they going to offer the people on Sprint a phone now? Like, you know what I mean? When they move over to T-Mobile, how are they going to transition them over? That was one of the questions they had.
Yeah, and I wondered the same thing, you know.
Yeah. They need to get rid of the CDMA. I know that much. They're going to need
They certainly need to get rid of that.
Yeah. So. Yeah. All right, I feel better now. I got my rant out because
Mike, you might want to go take a low pressor or something.
Oh,
your blood pressure is probably through the roof.
Two things. I feel good for a change. We got a really good rant from Mike instead of Will for a change, number one. Number two, Harold, you missed your son's great rant. It was awesome.
Yeah, Mike was upset.
She can go hit the replay button. Check it out again. Good stuff, Mom. You want to check it out.
Yeah, he was really upset. Mike is passionate about 5G.
I'm passionate when it works right. That's what I'm passionate about.
Exactly. Which I think you got a year of my money. Is my guess.
Yep. Good thing you didn't, Mike. I'm glad you weren't around when they went from iPhone to iPhone 3G to iPhone 3GS to iPhone 4 to. I'm glad you weren't.
Yeah, it was a mess, wasn't it?
You would have been upset. Yeah.
I'm trying to load the next story, and it's.
You would have been upset. What we got next?
OnePlus.
Okay, OnePlus. OnePlus is 5 years old now. Yeah.
Yeah. Last Sunday, OnePlus turned 5 years old, and I cannot see if one of you guys can get the story up.
All right, here we go. OnePlus turned 5.
Wow.
Their slogan: "Never settle."
$299 for that phone, huh? The first
they're
one.
Saying they're strong as ever with the 6T. This has been their most successful phone since they got the good specs and they teamed up with T-Mobile.
Yeah.
Let's see. They're talking about what factors worked as far as OnePlus goes. They started out with the OnePlus One. They said
and it hit
they really brought them into the limelight. The phone, like Mike said, it was $299. I think this phone was pretty popular when it first came out.
When I got into phone tech, I was came into it, and that invite system really turned me off.
Everybody hated that invite.
Wait. They're talking about positive stuff. Let's not talk about the negative.
No.
They mentioned it. They mentioned it here.
Oh, they did?
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Which one? What was the first thing they had? Break the phone? Break the phone to get invited or something like that? Break your current phone and report it? They had a crazy one like that.
Did they really? No.
Yeah.
They want smash your phone. It was
smash your phone to be able to buy a phone.
They wanted you to take a video smashing your phone. That was one. So you'd get an invite. I mean, how? And then they had the one that insulted all the women. Do you remember that one, Will? What was that?
What was that one?
Oh, what?
I heard about it. I don't remember that.
They wanted women to take pictures of themselves. Nothing lewd, but in some very masochistic way. And it was very insulting. I mean, that pissed me off. I remember that.
Wow.
That was,
I can't believe that. Really.
That was, I think, as the second generation was coming out.
Wait. Tech for Your Needs said something about grading females.
Grading females, yes. Yeah. Now, how's that for freaking insulting?
Man. Yeah, they had some crazy. I didn't remember that one. I remember hearing about the one where they were like smash your phone and you had to record it.
Smash your phone, I think was the first one, but the grading females, that was like right behind it, and people really didn't like it. And that kept me away from OnePlus for like 2 years. You know, because I didn't want nothing to do with people who were, talking about or asking women to act that way. It just bothered me.
I didn't know that. Yeah. So,
I'm supposed to be an old fart.
But I remember that was, but the company definitely was always, for me, always on it. It was always a tease. You know what I mean? It was always there like, man, I got to check this phone out. I got to check this phone out.
Exactly. But it was the first two phones, right? It was the One Plus One and the One Plus Two. Both were still invite system, right?
Right.
Yeah, I think the one.
Right.
Yeah.
And they had the
three
one
was the first one that you could get without the invite. Yeah.
The which one?
The 3.
How about the X? Was the X invite too?
Oh God! Don't even talk about that one. That thing was.
Did you get
that
one?
They want to
the X.
They want to forget about that one.
Yeah.
Because they sure didn't update.
Tell us what was so bad. Tell us what was so bad about the X.
Did you have it?
Wasn't that the one? I think that one was like missing a lot of stuff. I'm thinking that one didn't have.
It was missing some bands here for the States, or at least for like T-Mobile or AT&T.
See, like it says in the article, they blamed like a lot of the problems with it on the Snapdragon, the chip, the 801.
Okay, yeah.
But I think they weren't.
The 801 took a lot of heat, but then some of us that had wasn't the
why
the 6P on the 801? That didn't have any problems.
No. The Nexus 5 was on the 801, and that worked great. That
I
worked
love
great.
that phone, the Nexus 5.
I had a phone that was on 801. I can't remember which one it was, but it worked great also.
Moto X had an 801 in it. Did you ever have one of them?
No, I didn't have that, but I can't remember what. I probably still have it, but I can't remember which one it was. But anyway, but I kept saying when I was reading all these problems, I'm like, my phone works fine, So
yeah, but I mean, the problem with the X was I think the bands. It was glass back that didn't have wireless charging. I think that was the thing, possibly. Right. The only one color, I forget it was, or the price too. Maybe the price too also was an issue. But the 801 was the first chip in the first phone, and that also, and it mentions it in the article, that put it on par with the Nexus 5 because it had the same chipset, and it had it. But the big thing too is we're overlooking is Cyanogen. And that was what shook up the world too, not just the price of the phone, but what had it for software.
They had the big fight with Cyanogen right away, they weren't
like kissing and hugging each other, but
Cyanogen had this deal to supply the OS for their phone, and then they immediately made a deal with who in India. Micromax.
Who the heck are they?
Micromax is kind of a big manufacturer in India. And
they make phones?
Yes, and they were pretty big too, and they still are in India.
Yeah, I see. They look like I googled them. They got phones, TVs.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're strictly an Indian company, but they're a big name in India. But it prevented the deal with Micromax prevented other companies from using Cyanogen OS, even though OnePlus had already agreed, had an agreement with them. So it says from that point onward, OnePlus's relationship with Cyanogen was never the same. The bad blood between both companies only worsened over time and resulted in partnership ending in April 2015. Here's the thing. The split might have been one of the best things to happen to OnePlus. The Cyanogen CEO Kirk McMaster had some disparaging remarks. He was such a jerk. That guy. Arrogant as all get out. Towards OnePlus, and said OnePlus built their brand on the back of Cyanogen, and he said without Cyanogen, OnePlus would have sold one device in international markets. Unfortunately, this is the part I like. Unfortunately for McMaster, Cyanogen as a company would soon fall apart. Cyanogen's attempt to make money off Cyanogen Mod failed as most phone manufacturers chose their own Android SKUs instead of Cyanogen OS. And then in July of 2016, they laid off 30 of its 106 employees. And 3 months later, McMaster stepped down as CEO. And November of 16, Cyanogen severed ties with the founder. So I think they got exactly what they deserve.
Yeah. And where's Cyanogen now? I mean, they're pretty much done.
I think they're out of business, or if they're not.
Done now. I think they're done.
But being the guy from Hudson County, New Jersey, I can't stand double crosses. I really hate double crosses.
Yeah. So where do they dig up the team? Did they snap up?
Yeah, Tech for Your Needs says Cyanogen went out of business.
Oh, they did. Okay. And did Cyanogen, did they snap up some of the people to get your Auction OS?
I'm not sure. I would think they would have had to, especially when Cyanogen started laying them off. But yeah, because Oxygen, and that's what the article goes on to say. Oxygen OS is considered one of the best you could get. Oxygen OS has been consistently touted as one of the best and fastest Android skin around. It also helps that Oxygen OS allows for a level of customizability not usually seen from phone manufacturers' Android skin. So yeah, it probably was a good thing that they had the falling out with Cyanogen, because everybody loves the customizability of OnePlus. You know, so.
Yeah, because they took all the stuff from, you know, the people wanted to do with routing and all that, but all the
exactly. So anyway, I thought we should.
Now, George, here's a question for you. Well, yeah, I guess for you too, Mike. You haven't been on OnePlus that long, but seeing where they're at now, what do you think? Do you think they're going forward or backward in terms of listening to their consumers, to their base?
I think. Well, okay. Traditionally, last couple of years especially, OnePlus has been especially good at listening to their consumers. Now, with the T-Mobile deal, I hope that continues. I don't see any real evidence of it not continuing, but I'm thinking it might have leveled off some. But I think as a company, with the T-Mobile deal and with the OnePlus 6T, which right here, I think they're making very, very good strides forward. My opinion. Mike, your opinion?
I think they're making great strides. I'm very impressed with the community. I haven't really dug into the community app that they have.
Right. Yeah, and I almost never get on it.
But the thing is, somehow they're really starting to connect with people. Well, us techies, they definitely is a big turnout. But I think the big thing is, I think they made a bigger connection getting to T-Mobile. Now,
I agree.
I'm going to share something with everybody out there. Just this past Tuesday, I had something go on, and George and Will know. But I happened to meet somebody there in this little family event we had, and sure enough, this person had a OnePlus 6T that he picked up from T-Mobile. He happened to port his number over, and that was like, wow, like another one, So I think there's a big deal with the getting the T-Mobile going. I think it puts it in more people's hands. Yeah. Hopefully T-Mobile represents it and try to help people, guide them, not so much to that phone, but more options.
Yeah. And I do remember even on I think it was Android Central's podcast a few weeks ago that they were saying, yeah, you walk into a OnePlus store and they were actually showing people the OnePlus 6T. So I think they're doing what they're supposed to do. And 6T, I think, is already by far their best-selling phone ever.
Yeah. But now the other thing is, let's go back to my favorite subject, 5G, and now they're going to talk about increasing the price of the phone.
Well, I'm thinking, don't you think they're going to have to come out with the OnePlus 7 and a 5G phone?
Yeah, they're gonna come out with one that's not going to be 5G first.
Right. So if they both come out around late May, June, like normal, my thinking for me is I'm going to buy the OnePlus 7. Well, I've been buying the 5T, then the 6T, so I may wait till the 7T. But from everything I've learned about 5G, I probably won't be buying a 5G phone in 2019.
No, but
now wait. Okay, go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
What I was going to say is, if they were talking about the price of the phone going up, for everybody like focus on OnePlus's comment.
Well, they said $200 to $300. Yeah.
Right. Now let's put this in perspective. That OnePlus's phone's price point is always in the low 500s to upper 500s, right now. Yeah. So if that price of the phone goes up, and meanwhile the flagships, the Samsungs and LGs and the Pixels, are going to be way more, like $1,200.
Yeah.
Right. So it still keeps OnePlus.
They'll still look cheap by comparison. Yeah.
Yes, they're going to still look pretty. So,
but what I want to see is,
okay,
if they come out with a 5G and a OnePlus 7, I want to see what the difference in price is there. Because I'm thinking the OnePlus 7 has got to be cheaper than the 5G.
If they're gonna raise the price $300, they're saying pretty much what he said was for 5G, right?
For 5G.
Now, your cameras is not going to be the best, but it's going to be good, right? So let's say a OnePlus 7 5G is $900, whatever, $800, right?
$800 or $850.
Let's say they go up $200, so $800. You're not going to get the best camera, and let's keep everything the way it is. You're going to get the 1080p screen. Let's say 3700 for the battery, fingerprint scanner under the glass. And all you're getting extra, no wireless charging, and all you're getting extra, no headphone jack, is 5G. How good do they really look? You know what I mean?
Right. Well,
for just getting 5G, because you already know. Let's say next year, we already know Google's always slow. The Pixel's not coming out with 5G. We already know. The Pixel's not coming out with 5G. No. iPhone isn't going to come out with 5G.
Right.
LG and Samsung are going to have 5G. So if you have a choice between, let's say, an $800 OnePlus, and let's say Apple does the XR again at $750, and the Pixel at $800, you know what I mean? Is 5G?
Yeah,
really
but wouldn't you think Moto would also be there? I mean, they also got their stupid.
You think Moto's going
to I think Moto would be jumping on that bandwagon.
Well, I don't think Moto is going to do 5G because I think they're going to do it with that stupid mod. I think they're going to make it
exclusively.
And you know what? That stupid mod, remember, because it's not going to work on every network. I guarantee you Verizon has some kind of patent where it can only work on, they can only put that mod on Verizon.
Yeah.
That's probably true. Yeah. So I think these companies may end up hurting themselves with this 5G push.
I just can't see
at least in 2019.
I can't pay that much for a OnePlus. I can't. That's too much. And that brings me to, I was talking to George about it, I think after we went off. Jay Will did a video basically asking, was OnePlus becoming Apple because of that?
I totally disagreed with that.
What was that phone? The McLaren, the was it $700
edition, yeah.
He was saying because basically what they're charging you for is the RAM and the memory. I think that doesn't that phone have increased memory?
Yeah, but remember what on Android Central's podcast last week, the guy they had from PC
the phone is like for collectors.
He said basically, he said the McLaren edition is kind of the same thing Samsung does when he releases all these special editions, and they're just doing the same thing. That's all. Yeah, and I agree.
Yeah, they're just
it's a Halo. They call them Halo projects. That's what it is.
But yeah, it's like a collector's model.
I was thinking I'd call it not Halo goodbye.
I'm kind of wondering though, did OnePlus, I don't know, it's like, all right, let's say you have a OnePlus 3 or 3T.
Did you see our comment in here? Red Bunny Z, I'm building 5G, I'm a network engineer. So I guess this person is working on 5G. He said you need fiber optics. And well, I live in Chattanooga. We've got one of the fastest fiber optic networks in the world.
Oh wow!
I'm still not buying it though.
Yeah, I'm not sold on it. So
go ahead. What you were saying?
Dang, I can't remember, George.
the old guy did it to him again.
Oh yeah. If you have like a OnePlus 3T, you already, you know what I mean? I don't know. I kind of think they kind of pushed the RAM and all that too fast because if I remember right, the OnePlus 3T had 6 gigs and 8 gigs, right?
I don't remember.
I think it has 6 gigs and 8. It's like what, you know what I mean? What benefit are you getting the newer phone because they, you know what I mean? Like if you go from a OnePlus 3T.
That's why I skipped it.
Not even that.
Get to November.
Like George, if you went from a OnePlus 3T to a OnePlus 5, that's why a lot of people don't upgrade with them because you already have 8 gigs of RAM. You already, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's one reason why I do not get the OnePlus or the OnePlus 5 or the OnePlus 4. I wait for the T edition because I always think it's just going to be an upgraded version of the one that came out in June. So I bought the 5T, I bought the 6T. Next year I'll probably buy the 7T again in November.
Wow.
I think they should have slowed it down a little bit and said, all right, 6 gigs, and then the next model, you know what I mean? Next year, do 8 or whatever. I think by doing it so fast, it's kind of like, I don't know, it's not as big of a jump because now, like, all the OnePlus phones are fast. You know what I mean? All of them. So,
yeah, they are very fast. You know.
But we all can agree. We all can agree that if somebody comes to us and we talk to them about phones and they're looking for a phone and we can get them into that price point, we all can agree to tell them to go to T-Mobile and go get the 6T.
I agree. I agree. Yeah.
Would you Will?
Yeah.
Or go to the website and pick it up from the OnePlus site. You know. But this is probably, in my opinion, yeah. My wife has the Note 9. It is a great phone for her and for her. But I say the 16 was well covered. It's got it well covered. What's up, Will? What's so funny?
Check for your needs. He said the 12 gigs of RAM on that. Yeah, I heard about that.
Lenovo is coming out with 12 gigs. What are you going to do with 12 gigs of RAM?
Did you see? Yeah, you didn't see that, George? There's a 12 gig of RAM on Lenovo. Yeah, and it's supposed to be cheap. And that's why everybody's interested.
I was going to say, they're going to have to charge me more for this RAM that is wasted, in my opinion, anyway.
So,
okay.
Yeah, what's
up?
Are
we ready to move on?
Yes.
Okay. Apple accidentally reveals radical new phone. Was that my story or somebody else's?
Yeah, because I don't know. I don't know what. I think that was like a clickbait article. What was so radical about it that they're trying to?
Yeah, I'm reading the article and they're calling it a radical new phone.
I think the whole point was that they're trying to put the fingerprint scanner. They're trying to keep
alongside Face ID.
What's radical with it?
That's what I was when I read the article. I'm saying, what's so freaking radical about that? They're going to make them work in concert with each other, which will make it more secure.
But that's what everybody does.
Yeah,
everybody does that.
Yeah, so I agree. I don't see where it's a radical change. And Forbes, this article is from Forbes, and they usually come up with some very good tech stories, but this one just seems, like you said, like totally clickbait. So I say skip that story.
That was.
I put it out there, but it just wasn't worth it. Now,
what the heck?
The first phone to have. Okay, yeah. Who put this one up? Was it me? No, it wasn't me. Who put out the phone to have first Samsung phone to feature a notch? Was that you, Will?
That wasn't me. I don't think.
It wasn't me.
I didn't think I put that one either. I thought that was you, George, with the M whatever.
Well, I'm looking at the ones that I put there, and it says me at the top, so I know. But
I don't know if I sent that one. I can't even find it. But yeah, it's like a
anyway.
mid-range, right? It's like a mid-range phone, a Samsung M something. Hold on, let me find it.
The Galaxy M, and it'll have two models: the Galaxy M20 and the Galaxy M30.
Yeah, it's got two dual cameras on the back, I think.
Yeah, and it's going to have a teardrop notch, just like the 6T does. But I guess the big deal is it's the very first Samsung phone to have a notch, whereas the other new Samsung phones will have the what do you call it?
The Infinity O.
The Infinity O. The whole screen.
George, they said the battery is going to be 5,000 milliamps. That sounds.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Now for me, if this phone comes out as a reasonable price, because they're saying it's going to be a budget phone, that sounds like something I might be interested in. But if it's over 500, I'm not calling it a budget phone, and I'm probably not getting it.
Yeah.
What about you, Mike? Would you be interested in something like that?
No. No, I'm there's nothing coming out. No, there's nothing. I just want to just enjoy what I have right now. I really, for once, and I know I said it once before when I was with my brother, but
yeah, I wish Adam was here now to call you out.
Yeah, George, he says that, but when he's going to see like LG V40 on sale, he's going to be like, He's going to have a
I'm done. Let me tell you, I am done with LG. I am done.
No, you're not. No, you're not. No,
I'm
you're
done
not.
with LG.
Nope. I don't believe
because of Adam's issues, you mean?
Well, it's not Adam's issues. I hear about no updates on an unlocked phone. You know, it's just frustrating. It just, you know, I did my review on it, my 4 or 5 month review, having it, and you know, there's no modification to the camera, no software updates to try and get it to remotely have any kind of portrait mode going on. You know, there's the support for this. The support for this phone is none. You know, I just got you got it.
I was going to say four.
Everybody got the new update on
4.
Right. Everybody got an update on this phone. Did you? Right. It's 12.1.2. All right. This phone.
We all got it.
This phone, I'm expecting in the next month or two at least a security patch. This one here.
And the 6T is getting its updates too.
The 6T, the 6, your 5T. Right. Have you turned on your 5T lately? Did it get Pi?
I know it got the Pi update. Yeah, it got Pi. Yeah,
it did get Pi. Right. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, you know, it seems like the carriers beat up LG to make an update for them. Meanwhile, you know, you spent. I mean, I didn't spend this kind of money, but this phone was $800 when it was new.
Yeah.
You know, come on, man.
Yeah.
Throw me something here.
You got a point there.
You know, so I'm done with LG. That's it. I am done.
We'll find out. Let me revert. Let me revert back to the previous story, because Red Bunny Z, the guy who said he's the engineer for the 5G, he's got some comments in here. He said 5G uses solo frequency and needs an antenna every 200 meters. So yeah, hundreds of antennas, and it won't go through a concrete wall. So basically, these things are just going to be built in big cities, but basically these things are built for the self-driving cars. And that's where I think you're going to see the benefit of 5G, because the self-driving cars will be safe because of 5G once they get it somewhat perfected. But he says the bandwidth is so big. So we're learning a lot from this guy.
Yeah. All right, so I'm really meters with 5G. 5G is a no-go for me.
Well, so you need an antenna every 200 meters. You might as well say we all have the antenna implanted within us for 5G to work right.
Yeah.
I think that was another thing that I don't know if Dave 2D was saying about the safety of having, you know what I mean, so many of these things all around.
Yeah, he talked about that a little bit about
so close. You know what I mean? Like as far as we're concerned.
Yeah, because there's going to be a lot more antennas around. But I gotta think they'd be putting them out there right now. They may be sitting there already, don't you think?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, especially in those 12 cities right now, you would think something extra, something hanging around, you know.
Yeah.
So.
No, so Joseph Forbes Sacrifice is in here. Joseph, I didn't know you were sick, but I pray you get better quickly. I'm glad you're getting better for Christmas.
Yeah. And he was out there decorating for Christmas. He's a good man. He was
and man out there for his family. All right.
Yeah.
Forget switching
Android stud. Yeah, Leo says the same thing. Android stud. Forget switching phones between carriages, which is exactly what Will said.
Yeah, they're kind of killing trying to kill the unlocked market.
Oh yeah, it's going to be it's going to be a rough ride.
And the carriers are going to love it. Well, the carriers are going to love it because you're going to have to come.
The carriers are going to love it, but I think the phone companies overall, if they're going to jump in on this, I think they're all going to hurt themselves at least for a while until this stuff gets more dependent.
George, you say that, and then I think on Android Central, somebody was saying the company, who was it? Remember, Mike? The company who doesn't do 5G is going to lose. Like the company who waits, they were saying the companies who wait and don't get on it right away.
Are you talking about the manufacturer?
Yeah, like the phone maker. So they were saying like Apple's going to lose out by not.
Well, I could see that to a degree because the companies that do have the first phones, maybe the phones won't work right, but they will have people have teams working on the projects where. I see
Apple being smart and waiting it out.
See,
Till it's perfected. So
if it was another company besides Apple, I could see them. I could see, like, let's say LG didn't jump on it. I could see them losing because everybody would go to Samsung or whoever. Apple's different because people don't go to Apple for the newest feature or whatever. They go to Apple for iMessage, and because it's what they know, and they're in the ecosystem.
And it's the most dependable.
They're not gonna say, "Oh, Apple doesn't have 5G. I'm gonna go to Android." Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly. Now the other thing is, Apple and Google are so big and they have so many project teams. My guess is that they'll have project teams working on 5G and nobody will know a thing about it until they're ready to put it out there.
Yeah. I don't know. Apple's
even the professor is here. Hey, Munchie.
Munchie's here. He said he wasn't going to be able to make it today.
All right.
He's here.
Oh, there we go.
Maybe he just can't leave us alone, huh? How's that? Well, I noticed Leo, Android Stud, got in here, and Munchie comes in right behind him. Now, I know those two are buddies. Thank you, Mike.
That's George's Apple Watch phone, not a 5G phone, Mike.
Well, we got to start now, I think, for the 5G.
Thanks for the Apple Watch.
All right, everybody.
Yeah, super 5G. Yeah, everybody's got to donate.
Super chat. George needs money for his first 5G phone. We start now. By 2020, we should have enough money. Okay.
You see, Red Bunny's made another comment, George. You see it?
Yeah, 5G is about 10 times faster for the average consumer and 100 times faster for
companies. I guess
companies they need bigger bandwidth. Remember, this all comes down to fiber optics still. So yeah, companies would be much faster because they'll have much bigger bandwidth. But yeah, 10 times faster, that's going to be significant once you see it working. That's why I say once we see it, we're probably going to be blown away by the speed. But first, give me something that works. I still say the cars are the main thing, though.
We might be blown away by the price, George.
I know
AT&T's going to...
Well, phones are already blowing us away with the prices. I mean, come on.
AT&T's going to jack up the price for service to be able to use the the 5G.
Well, that's why I put my money on John Legere, because if they're gonna all jack up, I'll bet T-Mobile will probably give you the best deal. That's my guess.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. I will say this now. I think the phone business and including phones are going to radically change as far as how we do things. I think in the next few years because of 5G.
Yeah, 5G is going to change a whole lot of things. They're saying it's going to change things for surgeons too, because now a surgeon will be able to do an operation halfway around the world, and it's happening.
George, take a look at the comment, please.
I want a Poco phone with 6G. Okay. Leo, you're allowed to wish for whatever you want.
Leo, it's real simple. Go get a Poco phone, get a little piece
of mod,
and write 6G right where the 4G is. You'll be good.
Yeah,
okay?
but if I had, now remember, Leo is friends with Munchie. Leo will probably turn that phone over to Munchie and say, "Make this work in 6G for me." And Munchie will do it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Red Bunny says 5G is going to change everything, and I do agree with him.
And I think it is.
I think I thought I heard talk about potentially this 5G thing's going to replace like your modem box that's downstairs somehow.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I think I seen that somewhere too.
It's going to radically change the world. Somebody said somebody's article said, and I mean some big site like BGR or Wall Street Journal. One of them said 5G is going to end up being as big as when electricity was discovered, and that might happen. I can see where that might happen. It might be 5 years down the road, but I can see where that might happen.
Thank you.
Okay. What's the next one up? Apple streaming. Now, who put that story out there?
See, I haven't. I only did the few.
And I read this article, George, and it didn't really.
Yeah.
It just seemed like it was talking about Apple basically just changing their focus to services.
To services more than phone. Yeah.
Yeah, like so, they're gonna have to shift their, because the phones aren't selling as much as they, as much as they would like. Their phones aren't selling as good, so they're gonna have to start switching to services. Everybody's coming with a TV service. I guess that's the next story, but
everybody's got a streaming service.
Yeah.
It says Apple. Apple's got over the past year they got a $1 billion budget to develop content from Oprah, Reese Witherspoon, M. Night Shyamalan. I didn't even know he was still doing stuff, and Steven Spielberg. Wow.
Yeah, there's been talk about them doing their own like a Netflix kind of thing.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's what they're saying. They're trying to have like they bought some company too, I think. Something that
that's in here too.
Trying to make like a Netflix type of thing. So I guess we'll see what they do. But they don't really,
Well, I think it was Texture is the company, and it's a news service. They're calling it Netflix for magazines. So it's like Netflix for news magazines.
And then it says here, like, I don't know if y'all probably don't have iCloud. Like, y'all probably didn't purchase any storage. I pay $1 a month for like extra storage to be able to, because they only give you 5 gigs free, and it runs out real quick.
Will turn me on to that, and that seemed to makes life easier. But think if everybody did $1.
Yeah, I know how much money they're making.
They're making
just like
you pay the $1 a month too, Mike?
Yeah, I do. Because it's just because I'm between me shooting videos and taking pictures. Right. And I forgot.
It fills up real quick.
It did. Well, it's just that knowing I got that extra space. I'm curious here, and I was shocked as the apps are taking up a lot of space. So yeah, it's just a peace of mind thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, what I do with the cloud, I delete anything I film off of it.
Well, no, George,
because mine is also going to Google, and I've got unlimited there.
Yeah, but it's like, well, remember, George, your Google, whatever backs up from your iPhone to Google takes out of your allotment. It goes into your data, that whatever you have on Google. I don't know if you're paying for space on Google or not.
No, I don't pay for a thing.
So Google is supposed to give you 15 gigs unless you're paying for it. No, you get like a free 15 gigs or something. I know with mine.
So far, I haven't had to pay anybody for anything, and everything I do just goes to Google. Now I do every 4 or 5 months go to Google and delete a lot of stuff too, so because I don't need it there anymore. So I'm probably just keeping myself even,
The next time you go to, like, what's it called? Google Drive. Look at your space and see how much space you have. I don't know why. Google messed up for me like a long time ago and gave me like 100 and something gigs for free. It's supposed to be only for 2 years, and they never took it away. But
that's right. I remember. Yeah, there was time when it's involved. I remember that.
Well, because you got some Chromebooks, didn't you, Will?
No, I got like an HTC phone, and they gave me. It was like a long time ago, and they.
And that's the thing. I had a Chromebook for a couple of years too.
Yeah, so they gave me like extra space. But for Apple, it's kind of different. Like, you can select what you want it to back up, but they only give you 4 gigs, and it backs up your phone. So you can take, like Mike, you can take your app data off, but if you have to restore your phone, it's not backed up. That's why it fills up so fast. It's really annoying the way it works. But the article's basically saying, like, Apple hasn't done anything with that pricing tiers or nothing with that for years. Like, that was like their main service was the iCloud for a while, and then now they got the Apple Watch, which sells good, but it's not really a service.
They're really thank goodness in some way realizing that they need to turn to services like Google. Google does nothing but services. Am I right in saying that?
Exactly.
The phone to a point is second rate.
Right. And that's one of the reasons why Google doesn't give a crap.
Right, because of the services. Where Apple was heavy in the hardware selling this stuff, Now they're realizing, hey, it ain't selling. We need to find something else. Get on its bandwagon.
Almost as if Apple is saying the money in the future is in services, which is probably right.
Which it is. Yeah, it really is. I mean, just alone, you got $2 donating every month, just between me and Will. So Lord knows what else. They get a TV service. Here, pay $20 some a month and get I don't know 40 channels. And
there's so many Apple fans. They'll probably get a lot of people to jump on it. Just like me being the Google fan that I am. What do I have? I have YouTube TV.
Right. Well, look at that. Look at YouTube TV. Exactly what you just said. So you're donating to the Google cause. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, so here's a chance that Apple could have Apple TV as just like YouTube. I'm not, or YouTube TV.
Okay.
But yet you could buy an Apple TV box too at the same time. You know what I mean?
But you know what? Apple's kind of, I don't know. They're different to me because that's why I would never buy an Apple service, because you really got to be in their ecosystem to use it. Like, because all right, like Google, if you buy YouTube TV, you can, you know what I mean? You can put that on your smart TV. On your Apple is only going to work with their specific.
Exactly.
You need an iPhone. You need you know what I mean? I would never put that kind of money in the Apple services myself. But
Red Bunny Z is making another comment about, I guess, about 5G. Fiber optics are using a laser, the speed of light, 300,000 kilometers per hour. The amount of data we can transmit is still unknown. Then he says, maybe it slows down like iron. That is some serious speed, Jack. 300,000. That's fast.
Real quick, George, your wife is in the room. She made a comment about T-Mobile. She's up on this stuff. I'm impressed.
This is T-Mobile confirmed today that's working 5G phone with Samsung. Okay, yes, I told you. Thank you, Eleanor. I told you. T-Mobile and Verizon are supposed to be right on top of this stuff. So.
Yeah, I'm checking out this also. What are you looking at, Will?
Because I just got Leo's comment when he said, "Is anybody using that bezel-less 16?" I saw you.
Yeah, and Munchy.
And Red Bunny corrected himself. He meant 300,000 kilometers per second, not hour. Yeah. Okay.
But George, I don't know. Do you have your phone where you can go to Telegram real fast?
Yeah, I have the other phone.
Wow, if that was the one, jeez, now that's a sweet looking phone. If it looked like that.
Where am I looking?
Look in the room, George.
Okay,
it's in the room.
Oh my God! Look at that thing. It's completely bezel-less. They're trying to tell you that the 6T is bezel-less.
Yeah, you see how crazy it looks.
Wait a minute.
Where do you put your fingers?
Over everything, over the content.
yeah. I mean, your fingers are on the screen. That's why I kept saying that. You need some bezel, don't you think?
Do you see? I don't.
George, I had no problem with the bezels on the phones. George, to me, it was like something that people just wanted something to complain, because I didn't have no problem with it. Unless it was extreme, like the first Pixel or the iPhone, to me, they were fine.
But it's always the big guys, Android Central or Android Authority. These are the people who complain about the bezels, and I'm like, but you need.
But you know what? But wait, George
always said Jerry Hildebrand always said you need bezels.
He doesn't complain about the bezel. Jerry says he like, you know what I mean. Some people
the most knowledgeable one. Yeah,
I don't mind the bezels.
Yeah, I don't either. So.
Not if it saves me money on the phone. I really don't mind it, because now and it stopped the phone from breaking so easy.
Android Stud says that's the Victoria's Secret edition.
That's why, did you see they said that the new Galaxy is supposed to come with a screen protector on it already because of that curved display.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
And the size, the sides of Galaxies, like my wife's S9, sometimes that curve on the side gets to be a pain in the butt.
It's annoying. I hate it.
Yes,
I hate it.
It does.
I wish they let you. I wish they gave you a choice like they used to, buying a regular one or an Edge.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I don't like it.
What do you don't like, Will?
The Edge. The edges,
the curves on the side of a Samsung.
Oh, okay.
On any of the Galaxies.
The screen is always vulnerable.
Your fingers start hitting things when you don't mean to all the time.
Yeah, I hate that.
But wait a minute. Now let me ask you real quick. Get back on the 6T real fast. Is it really, or is this a fake ad, like making it out really it's completely all the way to the edge? Because I don't think it is.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, it's got to be fake. Here's a 6T in hand. Okay. All right.
If you play a video,
there's some bezels there. Okay.
Yeah. So it's not like they're making it in this ad like it's bezel-less, completely
exactly. Bezel. So that's not the real deal.
No. Okay. So they're blowing smoke up people's what.
That's what I think.
Okay. But it's okay. Wait, that's okay. We will never see this ad here in America, okay? Because it's not an Apple, it's not Samsung. So move on. Anyway.
Well, that's true. That's true. Yeah, my wife says she's not crazy about the curved sides either on the edge of her S9. As great as the S9 is.
Now, George, we got to get to your story before we run out of time. Now, there was one in there that I wanted that I didn't read about. No, you got a couple of them, but there's one about T-Mobile. I didn't read that one, and I'm interested in it if they can save me some money.
This TV service one?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Well, go ahead. You read it.
Let me see. Let me get to it. Where is it at? I see. I didn't even read this one. Now, I remember I heard they were saying they were going to do TV.
Yeah,
I heard they said that it's not coming.
It's coming, but it's just
next year now.
Yeah. It's a big deal. It's a lot of work involved to try and. They're also bought a company, so they got to integrate that company into the T-Mobile.
Exactly. And that's where I think Google was smart to do it on their own.
Yeah, they and the thing with, where is it? I had it here. Oh, wait a minute. Is it in this one?
Yeah, Munchie's saying Apple hid the notch, OnePlus hid the bezel. I agree. in their advertising.
Apple's got a lawsuit coming because
yes, they do. Yeah, a big one.
Oh, yeah, because something with the screen. Or
because in their advertising they use the black part of the screen, so you can't really see that the notch is there at all. And somebody's suing them.
So they don't.
If you put black where that notch is, you can't even see that notch, especially on an ad.
Yeah, that's true. But what I know, Will, what I know of the T-Mobile deal is what's the holdup is they're just not ready to roll it out, and it's. Hey, how come I hear an echo?
Got me.
All of a sudden, I heard myself in the background.
Okay.
But it's still, other than rolling a company, and they're just not ready to roll it out. It's you got a lot of players. A lot of people are jumping in on the streaming service.
Everybody is, but it says here in the article, T-Mobile executives face the difficult choice of either offering a garden variety streaming platform, a service that lets customers watch cable channels and other content online, or waiting until next year to deliver a more groundbreaking product. So they don't want it to be like everybody else's, because it'll be kind of everyday and mundane. Yeah.
And this is where they'll stick a 5G emblem on it. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. What came over me?
This is like Will and Google. This is going to be months getting something out of the 5G with Mike. I like this.
Yeah.
Mike's really upset. Wait till T-Mobile comes out with their 5G cheating things. Mike's really going to go off.
I'm going to be very upset. I'm going to be extremely upset.
because Mike and I are T-Mobile fans, so he's not going to like it.
T-Mobile fan. I'm going to be all over John Legere when he starts pulling crap. I'll be all over him.
And I know Mike, he'll be tweeting at him left and right, Jack.
These thumbs will be smoking, let me tell you.
Now, aren't you going to feel bad if they come out with really good, honest stuff, and then you have to say, I didn't mean to say that in that live stream?
Well, I'm wait a minute. I'm saying is I'm not going to just roll back and say, oh well, they may no, but okay. I hope
wait and see.
Yes, I hope T-Mobile does the right thing. I hope T-Mobile comes out with this TV package that he wants to be a disruptor. I'm excited because he already disrupted the mobile industry.
Yeah.
But I think
all of our benefits.
Right. I has two things. First off, I think the focus is on getting the merger done too. That took a lot of energy away. The biggest thing here is it says at the end of the article just what it is a crowded market. He faces a crowded field with would-be disruptors, including companies trying to disrupt themselves. With AT&T having DirecTV Now, Dish Network having Sling, and Google's YouTube TV, they're all trying to replace traditional cable, which is great.
Yeah,
because they're going to either change or die in plain English.
Because people are cutting the cord like crazy.
Oh yeah, and I don't know. My mom's still here. Mom's next. Next. She had a fight with Comcast. Luckily, they got her bill down to back to where it was. But at $175,
Comcast.
Wait, George, $175 she's paying for one landline, one cable box.
What?
And internet. Yes, $175. Oh,
Mike, hold on, Mike. Something's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
She's paying almost more than me, and I have 5 boxes.
Wow.
DVR, you got a DVR?
Yeah, I got DVR in every room. I got Xfinity X-Fi or whatever they call it, talking remotes and all kind of. You got to call them. Something is wrong. Well, I don't know.
They wanted more,
Mike.
No, they wanted over $200.
Mike, and I have international channels that are $30.
Yeah. You were saying
my regular plan. So something is wrong with your situation.
That sounds awfully expensive for one box.
I got internet, phone, and all those boxes and all. You know what I mean? That's I pay $194.
Yeah, you got a better deal somehow.
Something is wrong. You got to.
But everybody knows Comcast will screw you every chance they get as long as they can get away with it. That's what Comcast
is the
does.
worst.
That's why when we got our fiber here, mostly this county just left Comcast like that. I mean, you went down to Comcast. I had my box in hand. There was like a line of 20 people holding the box, and it was so bad they were just saying, "Sign here, sign here." That was it.
George,
they knew everybody was leaving. Yeah.
Remember, George, we don't have a choice. I know I don't.
No, yeah, and that's the thing with Comcast. They get you in areas where you don't have a choice.
Comcast, they got it pretty sewn up around here.
Yeah, my wife says we'll never go back to Comcast. Very poor customer service. Yeah, that's true.
Oh, yeah, very true. And she had to go to the store. She did have great customer service there. So,
yeah. Okay, so. Hi. The only other thing I had was the Moto G7. If you want to talk about it, I didn't even get to read that much, but I'm thinking we did a pretty good broadcast already tonight. Red Bunny says he's finished. Okay. Hey, Red Bunny gave us a lot of information tonight, so it was nice to have somebody on the stream that knew all about 5G. You and him could become best friends, Mike.
It sounds like Red Bunny and Munchie all get together. That would be a really great combination.
Yeah. Can you imagine us?
Too much vodka and sauna. That's good.
Those two would start a company and come out with 7G that actually works.
Yeah, on a Pocophone.
Yeah, exactly.
And a Moto G3 or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or Moto X.
Yeah. So
I think I'm about done unless you guys want to go on.
No. I mean, I'm not ready to talk to Moto. I mean, the Moto G7, the new phone, the new Motorola phone.
We can talk about that next week.
Yeah, because you know what? That's always going to change. You know what I mean? 1 week it's going to be this way, 1 week it's going to be that way. So
now, and you know, now you know I love my Nokia 7.1. I love the 6.1. Do you realize the Nokia 8.1 and the Nokia 9 are already out? I mean, these people come out with phones in a hurry, Jack. Yeah. And I love their phones. You know.
Yeah. Well, remember that? What was it? Was it who was doing that? But almost like Blue. I hate to say that in the same
yeah, but the difference is
there's
Nokia
a big
makes
difference.
really good phones.
Yes, they do. Yeah, I haven't had one, but yeah, they do make good phones. I would love to try out I would love to try out the 7 that you have, the 7.1.
The 7.1, it's an excellent. I mean, it's $349, man. How do you beat that?
No, I know. So
I would highly recommend that phone. All right, so thank you, folks, for coming in. Thanks for watching us. Once again, wish everybody a very Merry Christmas. We will be, Mike, we're going from your channel next week. Is that right?
Yeah, we're coming to my channel next Friday.
Yeah.
Good, because I'm off Friday. I'm going to have plenty of time.
All right. You heard him say that, folks. Okay.
I'm already cooking up something, guys. So.
Okay. So next week we'll be on Mike's Simply Your Device channel. And of course, I want to thank everybody for watching. And where's
Will?
Will's gone already?
I'm still here.
What did you do, Will? Why'd you change your...
I'm still here, Mike.
Did you have a sex change operation while we were gone?
I'm just laughing.
I see Lillian where you are.
Oh, there you are.
I'm on her what's it called? Her account.
Why?
I had to sign into her email. You know,
I just thought you had a fast sex change or something. I didn't.
It didn't even show a picture. It just showed a symbol of a person.
Icon. Yeah.
Okay. So, Will, you want to say good night?
Good night, everybody. And everybody have a happy holiday, whatever y'all celebrate. Christmas.
He covered everything. That's it. Yeah. Mike?
That's right.
Red Bunny, he says we are the Borg.
There you go.
That was good. All right, I'll sign out with that one. We are the Borg. I'm Mike Dixon, Simply Your Device. If you like today's video, give George a thumbs up. You don't like today's video, don't give George a thumbs down. Tell us why in the comments, and as always, start the conversation. And by the way, have a merry and happy, prosperous Christmas. Yes.
And I'm Mobile Geezer, and of course, you can find me on Facebook, Google+, Twitter, Instagram, and my website is mobilegeezer.wordpress.com. And I normally write at least one article a week, which means I got to get on this week's article tomorrow. And next week we'll be on Mike's Simply Your Device channel, Friday Night Tech Talk, next Friday night, 8 p.m.
Last one for the year.
Last one for the year. That's right.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for coming by, everybody. See you next week.